Are you familiar with this craft?
Who is your commander? Is it him?
I will speak for Captain Nero.
Then ask Captain Nero, what gives him the right to attack a Federation vessel?
Hi, I'm Nat, he's Matt, and we got your geek news right here.
Now, I've been a Trekkie for as long as I've been alive. I love the original series and reruns. I watched all the movies on opening day in the 80s. I watched the first run of TNG with bated breath, and when DS9 came out and Generations hit the big screen, Star Trek was in its prime, and I was one proud geek.
But with 3 Star Trek films in a row getting panned by critics and making less and less at the box office, it seemed like Nemesis would bring the movie series to a screeching halt at Star Trek number 10.
And in a way it did, since Paramount decided to bring on J.J. Abrams to helm a complete, ground-up rebuilding of the Star Trek mythos and fanbase, giving him carte blanche to play.
Along with JJ came an entirely new creative team, including writers Alex Kurtzman and Robert Orci, as well as a new batch of the youngest actors to ever cast a Star Trek film.
Now, J.J. Abrams has a serious fan following, having brought us shows like Alias and Lost, and films like Mission Impossible 3 and Cloverfield, and nothing is a better indicator of confidence in a storyteller like Paramount giving him one of the longest-running franchises in television and movie history.
I was a fan of the original series, but never a Trekker. But I knew that there was something to Trek that had not been done yet. And I was just immediately compelled by it and desperately wanted to be involved for a lot of reasons. But it was one of those things that I just jumped at the opportunity.
What JJ is incredible at doing is seamlessly melding big budget action adventure movies with really great character stories, which I think it's like something of, an art form that I don't think many people understand.
He's able to create these stories and these worlds that are so sort of magnetizing and incredible.
We get to love these characters. I think we get to know them as people, as not as heroes and not as people exploring the far reaches of the universe, but really as someone you might meet someday. And I think by building that love and relationship between the characters, between the audience and these characters, once all that great big action stuff happens, you really care what's going on. You're really invested. And that is what I think makes this movie special.
JJ's great for just putting little things in here and there. Like if, he's a very organic director, and if something strikes him on the day, then he'll, say, well, try this, try that. And so we had this idea that in the middle of Scotty's first entrance, he asks, can I have a towel? Because he's wet, obviously. And Spock and Kirk are in the middle of this incredibly intense moment where Kirk's trying to turn Spock emotional, and there's me kind of like slightly undermining it with my comedy.
Who are you?
I'm with him. He's with me.
We are traveling at warp speed. How did you manage to beam aboard this ship?
Hey, you're the genius, you figure it out.
As acting captain of this vessel, I order you to answer the question.
Well, I'm not telling, acting captain. What now, that doesn't frustrate you, does it? My lack of cooperation. That doesn't make you angry.
Are you a member of Starfleet?
Yes. Can I get a towel?
Under penalty of court-martial, I order you to explain to me how you were able to beam aboard this ship while moving at warp.
They don't really hit it off right away. Kirk is cavalier, and Kirk is swaggering, and Kirk is, arrogant, and Spock is very contained and very sort of structured and operates within the framework that is presented him. So those two methodologies don't necessarily, it's kind of oil and water at first, and we see that and the evolution of that and the earning of one another's trust.
Don't answer him.
You will answer me.
Characters like James Bond and Doctor Who have been played by so many actors that it can get a little confusing at times.
But that ability to recast lead characters is exactly what allows for the kind of longevity that shows like these have enjoyed.
Exactly. So what makes Kirk, Spock, and Bones any different? Well, as of this year, nothing at all.
Every character has been recast in JJ's new Star Trek, and so far the casting looks pretty brilliant.
Yeah, it really does. Not to mention the fact that we've got at least one original series actor returning with Leonard Nimoy.
And you can really sense the reverence from these young actors for the legends that are passing on to them the mantle of Star Trek and some of the most beloved characters on television.
I love Leonard Nimoy. He's an amazing man and has been incredibly generous to me, and I feel like one of the coolest parts of this whole thing was getting to know him and like continuing my friendship with him even now. You know, I love to hang with him. I love to talk to him. He's got an incredible life, and you know, I think he's the real deal, and I feel like getting to experience that and getting to know him has been a great gift.